All right, today we are going on this wild journey, the journey of a single thought. We're going to trace its path from a tiny little spark of information all the way to a conscious action. And we'll explore the high-speed biological network that makes you, well, you. Have you ever really stopped to think about it? How does that thought, hey, wiggle your toe, actually get from your brain all the way down to your foot in like an instant? Or how does touching something hot register as pain before you can even pull your hand away? It all starts with a single message, a tiny spark that kicks off a massive chain reaction. So, where does it all start? It starts right here with a spark. Every single thought, every feeling, every action, it all begins as a trigger, a single piece of info that ignites this lightning-fast process throughout our entire nervous system. And the hero of our story? It's this guy, the neuron. You can think of it as a biological messenger. And get this. You have about 86 billion of them, all wired together. Their entire purpose in life is to do just three things: receive information, process it, and pass it on. Okay, so our little messenger, the neuron, how does it get its mail? Well, the first step in this whole journey is all about listening. The neuron has to be ready to catch that incoming signal. The message is caught by these structures right here, the dendrites. I mean, they look like tiny little trees, right? And that's not by accident. They are branching out like crazy to create as much surface area as possible so they can listen in on signals from thousands of other neurons. They're basically the cell's super sensitive antennas, constantly scanning for messages. All those signals that the dendrites pick up get funneled right into the cell body. Now, this is the command center. This is where the magic really happens. The cell body is basically a bouncer at a club. It takes all these incoming signals, adds them all up, and asks one simple question. Is this message important enough to get in? Is it worth passing on? And if the answer is yes, if that message is important enough, the neuron doesn't just tap its neighbor on the shoulder. Oh no, it blasts that message down a high-speed electrical highway. And that highway? That's the axon. It's this long, single fiber designed to carry the signal, sometimes over huge distances. I mean, think about it. An axon can run from your spinal cord all the way to your big toe. That's a single cell that can be over a meter long. It's basically a biological Ethernet cable, shooting a purely electrical signal at insane speeds. Okay, so how in the world does a cell create electricity? This is so cool. It's all about this careful imbalance of charged particles, or ions. The neuron is constantly working, pumping sodium ions out and keeping potassium ions in. By separating these positive charges, it creates this stored electrical energy. It's literally like a tiny biological battery, fully charged and just waiting for the signal to go. And when that signal comes, boom, that's the action potential. The battery discharges. It's a total all-or-nothing event. Once that threshold is hit, there's no going back. Gates fly open, sodium ions rush in, flipping the charge. And this creates this wave of electricity, this spike that just zips down the axon. It's this incredible self-sustaining pulse that resets itself almost instantly, ready to fire all over again. All right, so our electrical pulse has just screamed down the axon. It's reached the very end. The journey's got to be over now, right? Nope, not even close. In fact, it's about to face its biggest obstacle yet. And here's the kicker. Neurons don't actually touch each other. There's a gap. So our little electrical signal has raced all this way just to find itself at a dead end, staring into an empty void. So what now? I mean, seriously. How does it cross that gap? Electricity can't just jump through thin air. The system needs a totally new strategy to get the message across. The solution is absolutely brilliant, and it all happens right here, at the synapse. This is the official communication hub, that tiny, tiny gap filled with fluid that separates one neuron from the next. So to make that leap, the message has to do something amazing. It has to completely change its language. The signal traveling within a single neuron is pure electricity. But the signal that has to jump between neurons, it has to become chemical. It's this incredible moment of translation from electricity into molecules. So here's the play-by-play. That electrical spike hits the end of the line and bang, it triggers the release of these little chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. These guys float across that tiny gap and find specific docking stations or receptors on the next neuron. It's like a key fitting perfectly into a lock, and when that key turns, it opens up a new gate, which triggers a brand new electrical signal in the next cell. And just like that,
the journey starts all over again. Electrical, chemical, electrical. It's this beautiful, endless dance.
Okay, we've gone super deep on the how. We've seen the mechanics, the electricity, the chemicals, but let's zoom out for a second. What is this message? What information are we actually sending with all this complicated machinery? The answer is everything. Literally every single thing that makes you you. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the command to lift your arm, your heart beating without you even thinking about it. And yeah, even your thoughts, your memories, your feelings of joy or sadness, all of it is being sent and received using this exact same process. Now get your head around this for a second. There isn't a tiny little picture of your dog or a sound wave of your favorite song zipping through your nerves. There's only patterns, just different frequencies and sequences of these simple on or off electrical spikes. Your brain is this master decoder, taking this raw biological Morse code and building your entire perception of reality from scratch. And that leaves us with a pretty mind-bending question to chew on, doesn't it? If every single thing you are, your memories, your personality, your consciousness itself, is nothing more than a fantastically complex pattern of electrical signals firing across these tiny little gaps, what does that really say about who you are?